Okay, so today we are pulling back the curtain on something huge, warehouse management. It's this kind of invisible engine, right? The thing that gets literally everything you buy from some factory floor all the way to your front door.
Think about it. You're online, you see something you want, you click Buy Now, and poof, a couple of days later it's there. It feels like magic, doesn't it? But what you probably don't realize is that single click just kicked off this massive, incredibly complex chain reaction inside a giant, super organized building. Yeah, it's definitely not magic. It's actually a high-stakes, super strategic operation that's at the very heart of our entire economy. It's what keeps the global supply chain humming. So what do you say? Let's go inside and really see how it all comes together. All right, first things first. We need to get a handle on what a warehouse actually is and the really fundamental part it plays in all of this. Okay, so at its core, warehouse management really boils down to four main things. First, you've got receiving. That's when goods show up from suppliers. Then there's storing them safely and in a way that makes sense. Third is controlling the inventory. You got to know what you have and exactly where it is at all times. And finally, issuing. That's sending those goods out, either to a factory or, directly to us. Now, I bet you've heard people use warehouse and distribution center like they're the same thing, but there's actually a really key difference. A classic warehouse, that's all about long-term storage, just keeping stuff safe until it's needed. A distribution center, though, that's built for pure speed. Its whole job is to get products in and out to customers as fast as humanly possible. So a modern warehouse is so much more than just a big building packed with shelves. Nope, it's a carefully engineered environment. So let's take a look at the brains behind this whole operation, and we'll start with the physical layout itself. The way a warehouse is laid out is planned down to the last inch. I mean, you see these U-shapes, right? That's to put receiving and shipping right next to each other to save steps. Then you have the I-shape, which creates this straight, clean line for things to move through. Every single design choice is about one thing and one thing only, making the flow of goods as smooth and fast as possible. But the physical layout, that's only half the story. The real genius, the digital nerve center of this whole thing, is the warehouse management system. You'll hear it called a WMS. This system is, well, it's everything. Just picture it. A truck pulls up with a new shipment. The WMS scans it, it verifies everything that's supposed to be there, and then it tells a worker the exact shelf and bin where every single item needs to go. And boom, the inventory is updated instantly. It's like the digital puppet master pulling all the strings. And this control gets super specific. We're talking about every single item, every carton getting its own detailed movement tag. That little tag tells the system everything: part codes, who the supplier was, and its precise home, right down to the specific bin. With a system like this, nothing ever really gets lost. So, you might be wondering, how does all this stuff actually get moved around? Is it just a bunch of forklifts and elbow grease? Well, not quite. It's actually a science, and it's guided by a really important set of principles. Yeah, there's a whole Material Handling Institute, and they've laid out 10 main principles for moving things efficiently. We're not going to go through all 10, but let's focus on 3 that are just absolutely fundamental for any modern warehouse. First up is the ergonomics principle, and this one is all about people. It's the simple idea that you should design the job to fit the worker, not force the worker to fit the job. It just makes common sense, right? It makes the work safer, a lot less tiring, and at the end of the day, people get more done. Okay, next we've got the unit load principle. This one's a game changer, and the idea is super simple. Why would you ever move one box at a time when you could move a whole pallet of 50? By grouping everything into standard units like pallets or big plastic totes, you make every single movement way more efficient. It just slashes the time it takes to handle things. And last but not least, the automation principle. This is where things get really cool. We're talking about using all kinds of technology, everything from simple conveyor belts to seriously advanced robots to take over all the boring, repetitive tasks. And the payoff is huge. More speed, better accuracy, and it lets the whole operation react way faster to what we, the customers, want. Right, so it's really important to remember that a warehouse isn't some island. It doesn't operate in a silo. It's completely connected to and integrated with every single other part of the business. Think of the warehouse as the central hub of a giant wheel. It's in constant communication with everyone. It's talking to production, feeding the materials. It's talking to sales, getting ready for a big promotion. It's even talking to the accounts department to make sure shipments are verified and paid for. It really is the critical link that holds all the other departments together. Okay, so with all this activity going on, You've got stuff coming in, stuff being stored, stuff going out. Where do you think most of the effort actually goes? Where is the most time and money spent? The answer is, well, it's probably not what you're thinking.
Just look at this chart. A full 50% of all the costs in a warehouse, half of everything, comes from one single activity, order picking. That's just the process of a person walking around and grabbing the specific things you ordered. It's incredibly labor-intensive. And that is why a ton of money and brain power is being thrown at making that one process faster and more efficient.
So, what's the end goal of all this complexity? What's the point? It all comes down to achieving what's called the perfect order. It's like the holy grail of logistics. It means getting the right stuff to the right person, on time, in perfect shape, with all the right paperwork, every single time.
So, where does this all go from here? With all this technology and strategy, what's next? Let's take a quick peek into the future of the warehouse. The next-gen warehouse isn't science fiction. It's already starting to happen. We're talking about AI that can actually predict what you're going to buy. We're talking about advanced robots working side by side with people, RFID tags that mean you never have to scan a barcode again. Even voice picking, where a worker just gets instructions whispered in their ear through a headset, so their hands and eyes are always free. It's amazing stuff. You know, this quote really nails it. When you boil it all down, it's about moving goods efficiently, safely, and in a coordinated way. That's the whole game. It's the engine that allows a company to actually keep the promise it makes when you click Buy Now. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. As all this automation gets smarter and faster and more connected, what do you think a warehouse is going to look like in, say, 2050? And maybe more importantly, what will the role of people be inside of it?